Hello and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today. We are excited to host this session on a topic that is increasingly critical for SAP run enterprises, modernizing around SAP without touching the core. Many organizations today are in the midst of evaluating their future with SAP. Should we migrate to S4 HANA? When is the right time? Should we go with the public cloud or private cloud edition? While these are important strategic decisions, modernization doesn't have to wait for them. With over 25 years of experience in SAP environments, we have helped enterprises take a pragmatic, value driven approach. One that enables modernization outside the SAP core while keeping the current systems stable and compliant. As companies debate the timing and approach to S4 HANA, today's session is aimed at providing clarity. We will talk about how you can start modernizing now by identifying opportunities outside the SAP core, re engineering legacy applications, and preparing your landscape for an AI enabled future, regardless of whether you are on ECC or planning your move to S4 HANA. We hope that today's discussion gives you practical insights that you can take back to your teams and apply in your roadmap planning. Joining us are three of our senior experts: Sridhar, Vice President and Practice Head, Application Services. He specializes in building cloud native applications and solutions around SAP. We have Anthony. He is the Vice President, Customer Engagement. He comes with extensive customer-centric solutioning experience in SAP S/4HANA transitions and integration best practices. And last but not the least, we have Gopu. He is the Associate Growth Director who brings immense SAP consulting experience with a focus on modern clean core architecture. They will be sharing perspectives, use cases, and practical approaches drawn from real customer engagements. To kick things off, Sridhar will take us through today's agenda and set the context for the discussion. Sridhar, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar today. And we all know the SAP landscape has been evolving rapidly for several years now. So many changes have been happening. SAP ecosystem has thrived on large implementation projects with massive time, effort, and cost going into it, right? Many of those businesses today are at actually crossroads when it comes to upgrades and migration. Today, we will explore how modernization initiatives can coexist and evolve around the SAP core while ensuring agility, performance, and compliance. Some of the compelling factors for enterprises that we see, particularly in the US region and of course in many others as well. The reasons why they would be looking at this is audit and compliance. There's a need for transparent, traceable changes in the ERP landscape. There are large US conglomerates who work on merger and acquisition, and you need a lot of agility around it, right? And making systems modular that support these integrations faster is pretty important. There's a huge talent shift as well in the market. Over the years, you will see that a lot more developers are a bit wary about working only on the ABAP heavy stacks. They are very, very eager to work on the modern ecosystem, which is more on cloud native API first development and stuff like that, right? And the cloud economics, as you all know, optimizing the license and infra and maintenance costs via various models like hybrid or RISE models are also things that are compelling factors for enterprises when you're looking at these in the roadmap. So let us move on to an overview of the evolving SAP landscape. And I think Anthony could be the right person in our group today to be able to talk about that, and followed by us, we'll continue on a few more scenarios, use cases, and delve into some of the experiences that we would like to share today. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Sridhar. So let's take a moment to look at where we are today in SAP landscape, and more importantly, where SAP is headed to. So SAP ECC served as the backbone for businesses globally for many years, proving itself as a powerful and stable ERP solution. Its inherent flexibility, which enables significant customization, was initially seen as a major benefit. However, this also resulted in highly tailored systems. This model was sustainable as long as the pace of technical innovation was slow, and SAP focused on rolling out new features and addressing only on the statutory needs. As we all know, SAP ECC mainstream support officially ends in 2027. While extended support is available until 2030, it comes at some additional conditions, making it a temporary bridge rather than a long-term solution. This sets a clear deadline for organizations. It's time to plan, transform, and migrate to the next generation ERP, the S/4HANA. SAP is not just urging this transition. Actually, it's also strongly advocating for a cloud-first approach over on-premise solutions. This preference isn't arbitrary. It's rooted in the fundamental benefits that cloud deployment offer. Cloud-based S/4HANA solutions enable faster innovation and continuous updates. This means businesses can rapidly leverage the latest features, security enhancements, and industry best practices without the lengthy upgrade cycles typically associated with normal on-premise systems. However, there is a crucial point we should understand. We won't be able to simply port our existing custom code to the new environment. SAP's strategic direction, particularly with S/4HANA Cloud, centers on the clean core principle. The clean core principle mandates keeping the core ERP standardized. This means all custom logic and developments are handled externally, either through side-by-side extensions or on cloud platforms like SAP Business Technology Platform. This approach ensures the code remains untouched, allowing for easier upgrades and greater agility. Sridhar, so I think you have something to add on this before we move on to Gopu.
Sure, Anthony. Thanks for laying out that big picture so clearly. What you've just outlined, the transition to S/4HANA and the emphasis on a clean core has significant implications for how we design, build, and integrate applications going forward. It's quite known knowledge nowadays that over 70% of SAP ECC customers have actually not yet migrated, or probably few of them are in the process of it, right? Yet, the main thing for all of them is that modernization within their organization cannot wait. From a technical standpoint, what we see as some of the key priorities for these organizations is that they need to assess some of the existing custom code integrations and business process variants. They'll need to rationalize, remove, refactor, or relocate some of the customizations. They need to modernize, adopt BTP-like platforms, integrate via APIs, and automation for extensions. And over and above all this, they need to innovate continuously. Probably AI is one of the things, analytics another, and probably even work on new digital workflows that's going to help them move forward in their business. Many enterprises still rely on legacy applications that were built for a very different era, tightly coupled, large to scale, hard to scale, and often undocumented. These systems might still work, but they slow down the innovation, increase maintenance effort, and limit integration with modern digital platforms. Modernization is about breaking that monolith, refactoring where necessary, and making these systems cloud ready API enabled, and easier to evolve. So we often come across applications running on outdated tech stacks and older frameworks, unsupported databases, or even obsolete platforms. These not only pose security risks but also restrict talent availability and increase operational costs. I'm sure some of you who are in very leading influential positions in your organization will agree that operational costs are a real problem, right? Modernization gives us the opportunity to leapfrog into more secure, maintainable, and scalable technology environments that are better aligned with the current business needs. Even if your SAP migration or SAP S4 HANA transition is still 2 or 3 years away, possibly that's part of your organizational roadmap. There's a lot you can still do today to prepare and benefit right away. And I think that will pave way for your organization to be able to migrate much more smoothly and at a much lesser time when the real time comes. And many of the custom-built applications and functions that surround your SAP core can be decoupled incrementally. These might include reporting modules, mobile apps, approval workflows, legacy front ends, agent portals, or integrations with third-party systems. By modernizing them now through techniques like API enablement, microservices, or cloud-native rewrites, you're not only improving current business agility, but also laying the foundation for a cleaner, more manageable migration later. This proactive approach means you reduce technical debt before the migration clock starts ticking. You isolate and address risk in smaller manageable steps. You ensure that when the migration actually arrives, your SAP core is no longer entangled with legacy dependencies. Think of it as building a runway where each modernization step contributes to a more streamlined, de-risked, and agile transition when the actual time arrives. Let us share some more thoughts and insights on the large picture before we delve into some interesting use cases. Let me invite Gopu to take it up next and probably talk a bit more on the S4 HANA cloud, which has been evolving. And I think that will connect us back into the real topic that we're trying to discuss today. Over to you, Gopu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Sridhar. So Anthony was giving us an overview on SAP as of now and where it is heading to. And Sridhar gave us a little detailed explanation on the importance of modernizations. So as business continue to evolve, one big question SAP customers often ask is like, how we can innovate and modernize their existing operations without risking the stability of the SAP system. So here is the concept of a clean core comes in. So in simple terms, clean core means the keeping your ERP, whether it is ECC or S4 HANA, as close to the standard as possible without adding unnecessary custom codes or modifications. So the idea is to keep the SAP system as clean as possible, easy to upgrade, and always aligned with SAP's future releases. So, but of course, innovation cannot stop. Every business still need to create new digital experiences, automate processes, and even connect with new technologies. So the question is how we do all this without touching the SAP core. So the answer lies we can have side-by-side extension models. Like instead of customizing the SAP directly, we can build application outside of SAP and connect them using APIs, events, and integration services. So this approach allows you to innovate faster, adopt new technologies, and you can still keep your SAP as clean as possible and upgrade safe. So again, this is exactly where the SAP's business technology platform or the BTP platform comes in. So it's a SAP's native platform for innovation, helping you to build, integrate, and extend your ERP securely. With BTP, you can use low-code models, low-code tools, even automations, real-time analytics, and even AI, for instance. And all these can be done keeping the SAP system as stable as possible and future-ready. So in today's session, we'll be exploring how to modernize around SAP using the clean core architecture and SAP BTP so that your business can keep evolving without compromising the scalability, performance, and future upgrades. So now maybe Sridhar, you can give some insights on the evolving application perspective of this.
Sure, Gopu. When we actually talk about modernizing SAP or modernizing around SAP to be more specific, and making ourselves upgrade ready, let us look at what does this look like in real practice, right? It starts with identifying which custom processes or apps currently sitting inside SAP can be surgically decoupled, and then reimagining them as lightweight, cloud native, or mobile first applications. Next, we build these apps using the right technologies, sometimes on BTP for SAP-centric use cases, sometimes on other platforms for specific business needs, ensuring they integrate seamlessly back into SAP through APIs and events. And finally, we make sure the data flows security and user experience, all the more important, all align with our enterprise standards without overloading SAP. For example, we help clients replace a highly customized quality inspection module. Why I take this up as an example is because it's a very simple thing, right? And it doesn't need to use all the complexities of the SAP interface, right? And we just built a simple mobile application which sits entirely outside of SAP but integrates to SAP through its own APIs. This actually improved the usability for field teams and allowed the SAP system to remain standard and upgrade friendly. One of the cases where we actually worked on sales order mobile app for field agents, and this as well had a very similar thing. There were plenty of field agents working out there, and you don't need all of them to be able to directly have user access to SAP. You can work through the mobile application, integrated to SAP through APIs. And as the BTP environment has been evolving, you started integrating the mobile application through APIs, which actually are connecting through the BTP environment itself. We've also rebuilt customer-facing portals as cloud-based web apps, connecting to SAP through secure interfaces, improving customer experience while keeping the ERP untouched. In the next few minutes, we'll walk you through a few more of these modernization scenarios, highlighting both the technical and business outcomes they've actually delivered. So, Gopu, maybe we could talk about the dealer management system. That probably will set way to talk about a few other case studies connected to this. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So this is a real-time example, basically, like what Sridhar told, dealer management system. So if you take the industries like automotive or consumer goods, where dealer management system plays a key role there. So the challenge many companies face is that their dealer management system often work in isolation, which means the sales data or the inventory data, even the service related data need to be manually reconciled with SAP. So there won't be any real-time reconciliation happening with the SAP system. So these need to be manually entered. Maybe periodically these activity will be done by the finance team. So which is a time-consuming activity, and it can cause a lot of errors. So with the integration, SAP integration suite, we can seamlessly connect DMS and SAP using APIs and real-time event-driven integrations. So all this without changing the core ERP. So what it means that once the connectivity is established, the sales order created in the DMS automatically flow into the SAP, and even any kind of update in the master data or pricing information moves from SAP back to the DMS system. So there will be a two-way communication established between SAP and DMS for any kind of document flow changes happening. So this setup gives dealer full flexibility and real-time visibility, keeping the core ERP as clean, stable, and ready for future upgrades. So maybe Sridhar, you will be able to share some more, customer experiences where we have developed some, enhancements for some of our customers, right?
Yeah. So one of the examples that comes to my mind is a circulation management application, right? one of our clients, a prominent news publisher in the Asian region, faced a major challenge in managing and coordinating newspaper circulation across a vast network of agents in multiple regions. The existing workflows were manual, error prone and slow, and leading to delays in distribution and poor real-time visibility. So the key issues that were actually trying to be solved at that point of time were fragmented agent data flows, and they had over 30,000 distribution agents. So it's a massive thing that they had to deal with. And often information was going missing, plenty of emails going back and forth, payment information needed to be reconciled, and a lot of ad details going back and forth. And this led to constant back and forth and increased clerical mistakes. It was getting a bit time intensive as well in the processing. Office teams had to manually chase down missing info, slowing down the circulation process and preventing timely decision making. Now, SAP doesn't come with ready-made solutions for this, right? But there's a business that is extensively dependent on SAP for a lot of its operations. And so we had to work on a system which is sitting outside of SAP, having a module that faces the agents or the public module and an internal module for the enterprise employees, integrated, and have the core ERP system integrated smoothly. And the archival process also need to be taken care of because there's a lot of friction in terms of being able to handle this otherwise, right? And what we achieved was a faster turnaround in terms of streamlined inputs and validation, reduce the lead time for advertising and distribution scheduling, right? And reduce the errors that was significantly there in the earlier model, which they were working, and we helped through these systems to be able to help that reduce and improved operational visibility. And of course, scalable deployment, which is inevitable in large scale operations like in the media world. And in short, the circulation management app was a pivotal one for transforming a labor intensive manual process into a digitally enabled, accurate, and scalable workflow. So one of the other scenarios that we often encounter, but something that is not specific to an industry, specific one industry, but you can say it's there in probably manufacturing, food and beverages, mining, logistics, consumer services, name it, and you will be able to see that petty purchases is always there, right? And many of the large organizations, it gets really difficult to go through the complexity of SAP's procurement workflows if you're going to do petty purchases through SAP. So one of the things that we have done is to simplify this and build a solution outside of SAP, integrated. And some of the solutions that we're working on in the recent past is to integrate it to the BTP system as well, right? And I think as we help organizations innovate in terms of making processes more efficient, systems more agile, and experiences more seamless, the key thing that we were trying to emphasize here is to keep the SAP system stable and future ready. And some of these examples were trying to articulate that that we keep the SAP clean and future ready, right? So probably, Anthony, we could talk a bit about the classified ad booking, which has been a largely successful one, which again follows a clean core philosophy.
Yeah, thanks, Sridhar. So I would like to share an interesting experience we had with one of our print media customers. Is that actually this happened some time back. So normally we used to develop numerous smaller applications based on the requirement from the customer. Here, what happened was we had to jointly discuss with the customer and come out with a solution. So during an external audit for one of our print media clients, we identified a significant issue. Their front desk was overwhelmed with heavy foot traffic on certain days of the week. This predominantly from customers placing classified advertisements. This bottleneck was so severe that some customers were waiting over 2 hours just to submit an advertisement. So this came to us, and we after extensive discussions with the front desk executives and the senior team members, we came out with a solution. We proposed actually 3 core objectives. One is to reduce the overall front desk traffic. The second one is to streamline the in-person interactions, to reduce the actual in-person interactions for those who walk in to the front desk. And the third one is still there will be people who want to have an in-person interaction with the executive. So there we suggested to optimize the executive-led transaction and optimize the transaction within the system to reduce the time for this in-person interactions. So for the first point, actually, we developed a web application which enabled both the franchisees and the advertising agencies and even the end customers to book advertisements directly. This allows walk-in customers to place ads. They can walk into their nearby franchisee or agencies offices and book advertisements instead of walking into the print media front desk. So this is allowed significantly reduced the number of walk-in customers to the front desk. Now, to minimize the interaction time with the front desk executive for walk-in customers, we recommended installing kiosks in the front office. This would allow walk-in customers to complete most of the advertisement placement process themselves, requiring interaction with an executive only for making payment. Now, for a third, even for the people who want to have direct interaction with the front desk executive, we developed a application outside SAP, which is directly integrated with SAP. So we all know SAP's traditional user interface isn't the most user-friendly, so often requiring navigation through multiple screens to complete an order. So that is the reason why we had to develop a user interface which was so simple and where the front desk executive was able to complete an order by going through one single interface. So this has helped to reduce the interaction time with the front desk executive quite significantly. So even though we have not planned for it, but interestingly, one other thing that happened was this allowed the customer to reduce the number of front desk executives, which in turn meant a reduction in the number of SAP licenses. So by extending access to the public, they could instead leverage a more cost-effective third-party application integration license. So this saved a lot of license cost also to the customer. Yeah, so Gopu, most likely you have some other experience to share as well.
Yeah, sure, Anthony. So let me just share some more use cases related to this particular scenario from a manufacturing industry, as well as from the finance side as well. So even in the manufacturing world, the production machine consistently generate a ton of data like temperature, speed, downtime, output, and even more. Okay, so but here the challenge is most of this data either stays in isolated system or gets logged manually into SAP. But the time when the summarized information reaches SAP, it often be too late, for us to make some meaningful action or decisions. So now, instead of overloading or customizing SAP to handle this raw machine data, what we can do is that we can have a smarter approach using the SAP's BTP or any other application, and even using some IoT-based applications, to deliver the real-time insights while keeping the SAP as clean as possible. So how it works is that the machine sensors send continuous data to the cloud-based IoT platform, and the platform analyze this data real time, okay, and identify issues like downtime or any kind of output drops. So only the critical events are sent to the SAP through APIs, which will, in turn automatically triggering the maintenance request, production adjustments, or even quality checks. So hence SAP receives only the required data without being overloaded or flooded with unwanted raw data from the IoT devices. So the manufacturers get instant visibility, faster response time, and the system that always remains clean and upgrade ready. So this is from the manufacturing side, so which is a example for the modernization. And let me take an example from the finance side as well. So maybe this will be more relatable. Every company can relate this particular scenario where during the month end, finance team spend a lot of time on the reconciliation part. So they will be downloading a lot of SAP reports, reconciling with the spreadsheets. Maybe some of the data will be on the spreadsheet, and there will be manual adjustment journal postings happening into the SAP system. So which will be a very time consuming process, and it can cause errors as well. So downloading multiple reports from SAP and even reconciling with spreadsheets and all, it's a tedious task. But with the modern reconciliation tool, it can be directly integrated with SAP, where the entire process will become online or automated. The tool have the capability to extract the GL balances, AR balances, AP balances, or even the open item via secure API, and they will perform auto reconciliation and enable approval workflows. If at all any approval need to be taken, that it will trigger the workflow. And also it have the capability of posting the journal back to SAP. So any adjustment postings need to be done after the reconciliation. That also can be done through the reconciliation tool, which is available in the market right now. So all this happening without even a single code written on the SAP system. So the result is we'll be having a real-time visibility, faster close cycles, and we'll get audit-ready reports immediately. Like it will be readily available. Reports are readily available on the tool itself. All this has been achieved keeping the SAP system as clean, compliant, and future-proof. So maybe Anthony, you also have some examples to share, more examples to share on this scenario, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Gogo, that's interesting. That is some couple of interesting use cases you are talking about. So while you were talking, I was thinking about a solution that we provided to one of the customers where we have effectively converted a mobile into a point of sale device. So as we all know, businesses frequently participate in exhibitions and events, requiring them to process sales away from their traditional office setups. So to address this, we developed a custom mobile application designed to facilitate their product sales. This app essentially transformed any standard mobile device into a portable point of sale system, enabling them to efficiently record transactions, manage inventory in real time, and serve customers directly at diverse locations. So this has eliminated the need for carrying bulky equipments and allowed them to capture sales wherever their events took them. So with seamless connectivity to SAP, the data was reflected real time. This has empowered the office managers with up to the minute visibility and help them to take any last minute decisions as quickly as possible. And one other example, I also want to, one other use case which I of more interest is a bank integration. We have done few integrations for our clients, bank integrations. In one particular instance, we developed an application that serves as a crucial intermediary between SAP and the bank's application. The core purpose of this custom solution was to ensure a seamless and immediate flow of financial data. Specifically, it guaranteed that payments remitted to the bank by customers were transferred back into SAP real time. So you might be wondering why there was no any specific user interface or anything for this application, but why this was not developed within the SAP itself. One major reason for this is security. Our customer had a very clear and stringent requirement. They did not want to expose a core SAP system to the external networks. SAP as a crucial, as a central nervous system of a business, it holds highly sensitive data and controls critical processes. So the direct exposure increases the potential security risk. So therefore, we made the strategic decision to develop these applications outside the closed internal network of the customer, but integrated directly to SAP through APIs. Well, I think Sridhar, you have more experience to share. I think you have something to talk about on the customer portal.
Yeah, I think Anthony, before even go into that, I think these were two excellent examples. And I think CIOs and enterprise architects involved can actually pride themselves in having extended these SAP capabilities without actually burdening its core, right? And their organizations are now secure in terms of being able to say, okay, when the upgrade happens, they really don't need to worry anything about how to change the existing systems. They're already decoupled, right? And let me move on to share another scenario that highlights how innovation around SAP can directly enhance customer engagement. Again, going back to an example on a print media client, we developed a customer portal specifically for advertising agencies. Agencies often need access to invoices, voucher copies. So I'm taking up this example again because there's a use case which involves a lot of processing that happens, and huge number of users are also involved. And the number of invoices, voucher copies, and kind of outstanding payment details that needs to go back and forth is humongous on everyday basis in a print media client. And I'm sure all of you over here can visualize that. And doing this through SAP alone is really complex and time consuming. Imagine a huge number of agencies who cannot access the SAP system directly, right? And so we had to build an application which sits outside and be able to be accessible from the public medium, and the agency should be able to have a self-service portal, right? And they can download the invoices, vouchers, and view payment statuses anytime. This portal actually combined data from SAP for the invoices, and also we had a pagination system for the voucher copies, and we presented a single unified view to the customer. So this not only improved the client customer service levels, but also reduced manual interventions, all the while keeping SAP's core processes clean and upgrade ready. So Gopu and Anthony, I'm kind of reminded of a recent challenge that we solved. When I say recent, I think this has been something that we worked on in the last 8 to 12 months. That we solved for a customer of ours in the logistics industry, and how AI and automation were also implemented in alignment with the clean core architecture. Maybe Gopu, you could articulate on that, particularly the AI automation and how we used it in the vendor invoice management scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, Sridhar. So thanks for bringing up that two, buzzwords in the industry right now, which is AI and automation. So most of the CEOs, CIOs, and CTOs will be talking about these two buzzwords, in this scenario. So, but before going to that particular case study, I would like to touch upon something that is reshaping the SAP world, which is automation and AI. So today, business expect SAP to do more, even SAP to do more than just doing the day-to-day transactions. So they want systems to be more intelligent, automated, and can deliver real-time insights. So even SAP is also evolving to make these kind of things possible by incorporating the AI and automation into the SAP system. So there they have the business data cloud, which helps, which brings SAP and non-SAP data together in one place. And also they have come up with SAP Analytical Cloud, and even modernized BW will let us build the predictive dashboards. And SAP has come up with AI-driven automations to streamline the processes within finance, supply chain, and even HR and other departments as well. Also, there are some new innovations like SAP Joule and Agentic AI, which is helping to automate workflows end to end. So now companies have the flexibility to build these innovation inside SAP using tools like ABAP Cloud, RAP, and Joule, or outside SAP using SAP BTP or any other cloud platforms. So in both cases, everything connects back to SAP through APIs to make the core remain stable, say upgrade safe. That's how we help business, move from a static ERP to an intelligent connected enterprise without risking the stability and future upgrades. So now I will come to that scenario or the case study which Sridhar was talking about, which is a vendor invoice automation, which is a great example for this clean core strategy in action. So even most of the companies, most of the organization, even now also the vendor invoices still arrive as PDFs or emails. And the finance team or there will be a lot of team members who will be working on this invoices to manually enter it into the SAP system, route it for approval, and post them once it is approved. So which will be again, whenever there is a manual intervention, it's going to be a slow process. There will be human errors can happen, and we can automate this entire cycle using an external AI-driven application integrated with SAP. So via the SAP's integration suite or API, we can achieve this, and we can remain the core ERP as clean as possible. So let me just explain how it works. Look, as I told you earlier, the invoices, whether it can be a scan copy, email, or it can be uploaded into a server folder, FTP folder, and AI will capture this invoices, or it will extract the key details from the invoices like the vendor details, PO details, item details, amount, even the tax amount, all those required details the AI tool will extract, and the system will check for duplicates, and it will validate the data with the SAP system, even the backend ERP system. And even any approvals need to be done, it will route for approval. And once it is approved, it can post directly to the SAP through secure APIs. So the result is like, the faster processing, errors can be reduced, real-time visibility, and audit-ready financial reports can be generated, all keeping the core ERP as clean as possible.
Yeah, Gopu, thanks for that. So before winding up, I would like to touch upon a couple of points, which is there in everyone's mind. So as we all know, many organizations have developed or even acquired various applications that are crucial to their operations, but sits outside their core SAP ECC system. A common concern in SAP cloud migration projects is what will be the future of these applications? The good news is these applications can continue to remain on-premise, and we can build robust, secure integrations with a new cloud-based SAP system. The power of modern integration technologies, particularly those offered by platforms like SAP BTP, allows for integration, allows for seamless communication between the on-premise legacy systems and the cloud-based SAP S/4HANA. This means we don't necessarily have to undertake a massive simultaneous replatforming of all the external applications during the initial SAP cloud migration. Furthermore, this approach provides flexibility. If needed, these external applications can be transitioned to the cloud at a later, more strategic stage. This allows organizations to face their cloud journey, prioritizing the core ERP migration first, and then tackling auxiliary systems in their subsequent phases. So one other question that comes to mind is that when to start preparing for an SAP migration. Even with the 2030 deadline for extended maintenance in mind, it's highly advisable to begin the process right away. So we will have to view the migration as an ongoing journey and not as a distant one-time event. So for that, as an immediate step, is to strategically move all the custom changes out of the core SAP system wherever feasible. So this reduces the complexity and simplify the future upgrades. Additionally, there will be questions on whether we can go to the modern technology, the AI, the automation, everything. So there is no need to delay such ambitions or other digital transformation initiatives until the migration. We can start that right away. These efforts can and should begin now, building a more agile and data-driven foundation that will seamlessly integrate with a future S/4HANA landscape, ensuring a smoother and more efficient transition. So now I'd like to hand over to Sridhar for his concluding comments. Yes, Sridhar.
Anthony, that was an excellent bunch of takeaways that you summarized. And thanks to Gopu and you for sharing some highly impactful examples as well today. So what we have seen through these stories is a consistent pattern. Modernization doesn't mean disrupting your SAP system. Instead, it actually means identifying where innovation is needed most, particularly customer experience, employee workflows, partner collaboration, and building those capabilities around SAP using clean, flexible, and integrated applications. At CCS, our mission is to help our customers strike the right balance, keeping your SAP core stable and upgrade ready, while enabling rapid innovation through external apps, cloud platforms, and robust integrations. Whether it's automating vendor invoices, streamlining dealer operations, creating customer portals, or enabling mobile sales at events, our focus is to deliver solutions that are aligned to business needs, technically sound, and future-proof. Regardless of when you plan to migrate your SAP system, whether it's in the near term or as a part of a long-term roadmap, now is the right time to modernize your surrounding applications. Visualize it as constructing a scaffolding around SAP. Modernization is not just about preparing for a technical shift. It's about ensuring your enterprise is agile, integrated, and future ready. The custom solutions that have grown around your ERP landscape need to evolve to support changing business needs, business models, user expectations, and digital channels. With methodologies like replatforming, refactoring, API enablement, and microservices-based design, there's a clear path to decoupling, scaling, and enhancing these applications, even before a core migration begins. So we hope today's discussion has sparked some useful ideas and given you a direction to explore. Thank you once again for joining us, and we look forward to continuing the conversation with you. We'd be happy to engage with your teams, understand your unique challenges, and explore how a clean core and modernization strategy can work for you. Sonali, to you.
Thank you, Sridhar, and a big thank you to all our speakers for those valuable insights. I hope today's session has sparked some ideas and helped answer your questions around SAP modernization. If you would like to see how this can work for your business, we would be happy to walk you through it. You can request a personalized demo with our team and explore how you can modernize without touching your SAP core. Let's now open the floor for any questions you may have. You can write your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute it for you to ask the question. Right. So I'll request someone from the team to take this question. Can you explain or throw some insights on licensing dependency related to third-party application integration?
Yeah, the licensing mostly in a cloud scenario, it is all user based, or there are a lot of the new kind of licensing there. But for a third party application integration, earlier from a on-premise or earlier private cloud scenarios, actually there were a lot of different types of licensing were there, and later and most recently there was they have consolidated it into one single licensing, like a third party application integration licensing was there, that is based on number of transactions.
Right. We have another question. How do I prioritize which legacy app to modernize first? Sridhar, you're on mute.
Yeah, am I audible again? Yeah. I think we kind of touched upon this topic while discussing, but let me just try to explain this. Like, start with the applications that are high impact, high maintenance, or which are blocking integration. Focus on decoupling systems which probably are getting outdated, right? Outdated tech stacks as well, and those that hinder agility. Probably these are very generic high-level guidelines, which I think would help in prioritizing which legacy apps to modernize first.
Right. Another question we have is how are updates to SAP BTP handled? Are they disruptive or are the process seamless?
Sonali, prior to that, we have a couple of questions in the chat as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, after your question, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you finish this question first? Maybe then we can take Sharon.
Sure, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Should I repeat the question, team, or?
Yeah, please.
Would you like to? Yeah. Okay. So the updates to SAP, is that handling seamless or disruptive? Gopu or Sridhar, whoever wants to take this.
I think Gopu would be more suited to answer this, but I can pitch in, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
See, updates on BTP. So I think your question was about SAP updates to
BTP.
SAP BTP. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
See, updates on BTP are kind of managed by SAP, and typically they are non-disruptive. It's a platform, right? So just like
Okay.
what you have on AWS or what you have on Azure, right? So BTP follows a rolling update model, right, with backward compatibility for most of the services. We really don't need to worry about the changes that happen on the platform itself. We can focus more on the applications and integrations that we actually need to work on. I think that's basically why BTP is getting much more popular nowadays.
I have another question from Laurie. Have you found the need for integration fabrics like MuleSoft? Sridhar, can you unmute?
Gopu, I don't think I have, but Gopu, probably in case you have, please.
Yeah, basically MuleSoft, again, it's a integration tool which is used for, any application need to be integrated with SAP or any other. We can use the MuleSoft. So as of now, we have used all the standard SAP's integration suite for integrating the, SAP with any third-party solutions. So definitely, like we can use MuleSoft as well. Like there are other integration tools as well, like Delbhoomi and all, where it can be used for integrating third-party application with SAP. So definitely, yeah, we can use MuleSoft as an integration tool.
Right. We have another question. How do you discuss BTP versus ServiceNow, Appian, Salesforce, Mendix, etc. with customers for low-code development for clean code?
I think that's a very deep question, and I don't know whether I'll be able to do justice in this session. But let me give a high-level response at this point. We can always connect one-on-one later. So I think the conversation that we were trying to have over here today was to bring in a clean core philosophy that is more focused on BTP and try to avoid taking the integrations to any other third-party system. But of course, if you are talking about Salesforce, Mendix, which are low-code platforms, BTP itself has its own low code, right? And one of the things that's evolving in BTP is the low code solutions that you can develop on the BTP platform. It's kind of coming up pretty quickly. So at this point of time, I'm sure Mendix stands much far ahead. Same would be Salesforce because they've been around for quite some time. So there are some integrations that can be done through the BTP to any of these platforms. But over a period of time, when we're talking about low code development, probably BTP will try to internalize the whole thing within its own platform. I think that's still some distance to go.
Right. Thank you, Sridhar. That'll be all. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again, and have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.